Politics now. Lawmakers in Washington continue to react to the situation around Robinhood and GameStop stock, with both the House and Senate now planning hearings in response. For more, let's bring in our JD Durkin, who happens to be in the New York studio, not DC today. Hi, JD.
I know, what's going on? Brad, good afternoon to you both from right down the hallway here in New York. Yes, but let's turn our attention, of course, back to the hallways of the U.S. Capitol, where I normally am in Washington, D.C., because Democrats are upset, Republicans are upset, independents are upset, and people want answers. But, of course, I always keep in mind this is the sort of story that reminds me Congress is incredibly reactionary. I think the American people would be far better served if our elected officials in federal government did a better job foreseeing problems way before they happen, trying to put us on a future forward-thinking path to success. But that's not how Congress works. Congress reacts to the headline of the day, the jumpy news item they're going to get asked about in that press conference. And so, of course, Congress is now saying we're going to take up congressional hearings about this, despite the fact that there are so many other things that Congress needs to work on, from COVID relief to dealing with an insurrection to Democrats trying to pass Joe Biden's very progressive and very difficult to pass agenda. They're going to add on top of this securities concerns and investigating what exactly Robinhood did and whether or not they were well within the bounds of good business to do so. Chair Maxine Waters of the House Financial Services Committee has guaranteed there will be a hearing for her committee at some point. Chair Waters saying this in a statement: "We must deal," she says, "with the hedge funds whose unethical conduct directly led to recent market volatility. We must examine the market in general and how it's been manipulated by hedge funds and their financial partners to benefit themselves while others pay the price." You see there, the chair has already pretty much drawn the line in the sand on which side of this equation that she and other Democrats, and quite frankly Republicans, will also fall on. It's not just the House, it's also the High Chamber as well. Sherrod Brown is the soon-to-be official chairman of the Senate Banking Committee. He was the first to indicate, really, on Washington yesterday, the Senate also will take up at least one hearing on this issue. Sherrod Brown saying in a statement, "American workers have known for years that the Wall Street system is broken," he says. "They've been paying the price. It's time for the SEC and Congress to make the economy work for everyone and not just Wall Street." Keep this in mind, despite the fact that Congress gets worked up over something, and again, they're very reactionary to the headlines, all of this investigated into Robinhood could very well be all for nothing right now. The Wall Street Journal editorial board, one of many entities this morning, Hannah, quick to remind people, quote, "Investor platforms and brokerage firms have every right to police their own sites with borrowing limits or other rules to protect customers." This could very well be the sort of story where there's a big knee-jerk reaction, and then as the dust settles, people may realize, especially because of what's there buried in the teeny tiny, the fine print, the terms and conditions for Robinhood users, that the brokerage site, the brokerage app, had every right to do what it did, but Congress is still committed, at least as of right now, to try and get to the bottom of it. But making sure members of Congress understand this story in and of itself is going to be its whole own world of difficulties and challenge-filled initiatives for Congress. It's going to be a little tough for them to catch up, I think.
Yeah, as we've learned firsthand in previous hearings, especially when it comes to tech. JD Durkin, live here.